Namaste, Adab, Sat Sri Akal. CS Sankalp Kanstia is back and with some new episodes. Episode number 13. तो not to worry. अब आपके जितने भी क्वेरीज है, जितने भी टेंशन है, जितने भी इश्यूज है, वो सब बहुत फटाफट रिजॉल्व करने आ रहा हूं मैं, सीए संकल्प कांस्टिया। बहरहाल अपन करने वाले हैं केस सिनेरियो 11 and 12. So that's what we are up to. Very simple and manageable. Case study number 11, case scenario number 11 will speak of only two aspects of your building block model, and the case scenario number 12 will speak of performance pyramid. Simple and straightforward. So two scenarios will be given to us. We will first discuss the scenarios and then how to apply them in our business is what we will check out. So are we ready? So without wasting any time, let's get started. So two case scenarios. First case scenario, which is 11, is based on the fundamental of your building block model. Now, in order to apply the case scenario, you should be clear with your building block model. What stands where? Standards, motivation, achievability, ownership, determinants, so on and so forth, results, competitiveness. So are we clear with that? If not, let us quickly just make a short summary. So now let's first discuss what is case scenario 11. It's a very short case scenario, as you can see from here. Okay, just a moment. Okay, so here we are. Case scenario number 11. There is a firm of chartered accountants, right? So all of you are doing your articleship. Wherever you are doing your articleship, there would be something called as tax audits. There would be something called as stat audits. There would be something called as internal audits. There would be something called as GST audits or maybe GST compliance, correct? So these are 4-5 areas in which a chartered accountancy firm specializes, correct? This is also a scenario wherein ABC is a chartered accountancy firm and it also specializes into various sectors. Also, this CA firm has 5 branches throughout India. So usually this is what the trend is with CA firms. They will set up their own CA firm. They will have their branches in major cities, revenue earning cities of India, like you can say Mumbai, Delhi, Jaipur, Ahmedabad, so on and so forth, Chennai, Bangalore, or probably a Kolkata. So these are the few cities where they, ABC firm, are specializing. 5 branches and into areas of specialization of statutory compliances, taxation practice, audit and assurance, and consultancy services. So these are the 4 major things in which they are specializing. Now, one of their partner attended my seminar and now he wants to understand more about building block model. So he attended my seminar and of that he found few points of building block model very much relevant to their business. So they want to implement this and they've approached us as chartered accountants, as management accountants. As management accountant, chartered accountant, they are already there. As management accountants, and we have to advise them. Pay attention. Their founder partner, in a recently organized year-end closing meeting with all working partners, has given the following vision statement for the next year. The next financial year, ABC should use results and determinants framework. Results and determinants framework. Do you recollect anything? See, now this is where you should know. You should have an idea of all the models. So directly, if the examiner tells you, tell me something about results and determinants framework, I should be ready with my answer. As soon as I hear the word results and determinants, I know they are speaking of building block model. Fitzgerald and Moon, developed and used in Australia, but now used throughout the world, especially in service-oriented industries. ABC is a CA firm also into service-oriented industries. Of that, results and determinants. These are the 2 aspects which they want to focus on. So ABC in the next financial year should use results and determinants based framework for each revenue segment, and the current reward scheme to be remodeled to a clear result oriented one. Now if we have been through the building block model, can I say it's very much easy for us to connect? So now what is to be done? We have to apply building block model for this CA firm. So sorry, yeah, we have to apply the building block model to this CA firm, in which their focus is results, determinants and motivation to be a result oriented one. Fair enough. Reward scheme to be result oriented one. Describe the management strategy the founder partner of the firm is referring to. Hey buddy, it's simple. The founding partner is referring to building block model. List some performance measures that might be used. So obviously, once we will quickly discuss the building block model, of that we will select the results determinants framework, and then how to apply it to our ABC firm is what we will do. Subjugudu, are we clear everybody? So all you have to do is just read the question. It is just hardly going to take a minute or so, and then we will start with the solution. Come on. Okay, then let's get started with the building block model. So here is the case scenario, and the name of the case scenario is ABC, a chartered accountancy firm. Now, what is the first part of the requirement of the question? Yes, please tell me, what is the first part of the requirement of the question? The first part is describe the management strategy that the founder partner is referring to. Do we have the answer? Yes, the answer is very clear. We will say that the managing partner is referring to, tell me which one? Correct, is referring to the management style of building block model, is referring to BBM. Obviously you have to write it in full form as well, building block model. Now my next question to you is, who developed this model? So in connection, always have the habit to write. See, the reason I am discussing this with you is simple. I want you to understand how to write an answer in the examination. Majority of the students who haven't cleared in the last 2 attempts is because they are not clear as to how should we write. We know what is building block model. We can draw that. But if before you draw that, you have to write down few points relating to building block model, and that's what is expected from you. So it's pretty simple. How do we approach it? So we will say that the managing partner here is referring to building block model. It is developed by whom? So we will say that it is developed by Fitzgerald and Moon. So do we need to remember it? Yes. See, there are hardly very few models and very few names that you have to remember. So yes, you will have to remember them. So Fitzgerald and Moon. These are the people who developed building block model. Now, where it was predominantly to be used? So it was predominantly to be used in service oriented industries. But does this building block model restrict itself to service oriented industries? No, it can also be applied to performance related measurement relating to manufacturing industry also. So developed by Fitzgerald and Moon primarily for service oriented industries, but to be used equally by manufacturing businesses for evaluating their business performance. By manufacturing units, by to evaluate what? The business performance, to evaluate the business performance. So this is how your typical answer should start when you are referring to a solution. Now, does the whole thing stop here? No, but at least we've got the momentum. We've got the momentum that, okay, what is the name of the model, who developed it, what it was predominantly to be used for, also can be used for. This is how you start your answer. I hope we are absolutely clear. Now what we can do is we can prepare the whole building block model. So now we will tell the examiner, Mr. Examiner, the building block model looks as below. So what we will do now is we will draw the building block model, and through that building block model we will connect the stuffs which are expected from the model. So now we will draw the building block model. So can I say the building block model is divided? Come on, together you and me will make it. See, if you want to understand the detail, in the description box there is a detailed video of what and how building block model is. You can refer that. Also, if you have a optimized 5, then in that case, see here there is a scan facility. So what you can do is download any cam scanner, any scanner, and then just click here. It will automatically take you to a video wherein I am explaining you the building block model. So either ways, whichever way you are comfortable, please start with that. So now we are focusing on the building block model. Just a moment. So building block model, can I say, is divided into 3 aspects. What are those 3 aspects? Think from the eyes of an article clerk. Think from the eyes of a CA firm. That's how, if we are able to remember, we'll be able to crack building block model with ease. So building block model prima facie is divided into 3 parts. First of them is called as standards. Second is called as dimension, and third is your rewards, motivation. So third is your reward. These are the 3 major subdivisions of your building block model. In this, when you speak of standards, there is further 3 bifurcation. So whenever an article clerk enters a CA firm, there are few things, 3 standards that are expected of him. First thing that is expected of him is that, or rather it is expected of the CA firm, is that try to give him things which are achievable. So the first aspect is called as achievability. Correct. Second aspect is that give him ownership of the work. So what happens is, suppose an article clerk joins a firm. So obviously, directly if you ask him do scrutiny, do finalization, will he be able to do? No. But if you teach him the basics of vouching, tell him that now, chalo, come on, you have to do this vouching and verification work, will he be able to do? Yes, sir. So first thing that you gave him was things which are achievable. Now when he is able to do achievable work, his level will rise, and now start giving him ownership in second year and third year of articleship. So the second thing that we can see is ownership. And third is give work which is equitable in nature. So it should not happen that one of your article clerk is coming at morning 7 a.m. and going at 9 p.m. One of your article clerk is coming at 11 a.m. and leaving at 4 p.m. telling I have classes and all. So that should not happen. Everybody should get equitable work so that the culture of the organization is kept at a equitable level. So this is what is expected in setting of standards, that give achievable work to the employees who have just joined. Then once they are acquainted with the work, then start giving them ownership. And once that is done, please ensure that there is equity in the work. So it should not happen that second year article clerk, everybody is getting 5,000 rupees as stipend, but one of them is working for 12 hours, one is working for 6 hours. And in that case, it will destroy the culture of your organization. So either pay more or have equitable work environment in your whole business entity. So this is about standards. Then there is a division in dimension which speaks of two things. They are determinants. They are determinant and results. They are determinant and results. So determinant is divided into 4 parts. Now what is expected of a article clerk? So QFIR is expected of a article clerk. Or in my book Optimized 5, I have written what are the qualities of an article assistant. So see, what are the qualities of an article assistant? To give quality work, flexibility in approach, innovation and resource utilization. Wow, wow, sir, we are so happy to hear so good things about an article clerk. So one is quality in the work that you are doing. Second is flexibility in your approach. It is very important for the businesses today to be flexible in their approach. Now suppose if a teacher who says that no, I will only teach when we have students face to face. Post corona, if you are still going to be rigid, you will never be able to teach, because now the students are not going to be there live, but they are going to be at their home, and you will probably have to use a Zoom or a YouTube in order to communicate. Now this is where there has been a lot of issues, especially with primary and secondary teachers. I have 2-3 teachers in my own building, and those teachers who used to teach to school students are finding it very difficult. Why? Because they have to shift their thought process to technology oriented thought process. So they have to be flexible in their approach, which they are finding it very difficult. So that does not work, because with the technology you have to be flexible in your approach. So quality, flexibility. I stands for innovation, and last is resource utilization. Last is resource utilization. So these are the 4 aspects, are the determinants. This is what our whole question is based on, which I will come to, don't worry. So resource utilization, and then we have results. 2 results is how we check. One is financial result and the other is competitive result. So these are the 2 results that we speak of. And finally there is rewards. Rewards is also based on 3 things. One, the reward should be such that it should result into motivation. It can be a financial reward, it can be a non-financial reward, but it should result into motivation. Second is the communication of the reward should be very clear to the employee. So there should be a clear communication. There should be a clear communication of the rewards to the employee. And last but not the least, that you have to give them reward only on the controllable aspects. So if global crude oil prices are moving here and there, do not penalize me for that. Do not penalize your employee for that. Only give him reward for things which are in his control, so that he feels motivated to work even harder for things which are in his control. Now, which are not in his control or uncontrollable, there he cannot do anything, any which case. So always give him rewards based on things which are controllable. So this is what then we will quickly write down. So when we have to write down the answer, first paragraph, we speak 2 lines about building block model, and then we tell them that this is how the whole model looks like, and then we will tell them that in this particular scenario, our focus is on the determinant and results aspect. Is on the determinant and results aspect. So determinant is like how good efforts you are putting for the business, for which you will get the requisite results. How good effort you are putting for your CA final examination, for which you will get the result, either success or failure. So result will give you your success or failure, pass or fail. But in order to be confident for a result, we have to first focus on the determinants, which are we doing quality in our studying, are we flexible in our approach. So say for example, SCMP institute has brought new things, are we able to adopt to them and then continue our studies, correct? Flexibility. Innovation, how are we quickly understanding things and applying it in the examination. And last is resource utilization, with the minuscule limited amount of time, how well we are able to cover the whole portion. So these are the determinants or your focus areas. If the company is able to manage these determinants, focus areas, then the success or failure result will be able to be derived by yourself. Also, company should have set fair standards. The company should set fair standards such that they also are rewarding to the employees. They are rewarding to the employees. I hope we are clear in a nutshell of what exactly BB building block model is. So we will tell them that the dimensions framework speaks about two things. What are the two things? Speaks about two things. What are those two things? One is determinant and the other is results. In case of determinant, it means how well you are performing, how well the company is performing based on given parameters. What are those parameters? Q, F, I, R. And results will speak of success or failure based on application of determinant. So if any student, suppose now you are in CA final, suppose if a CA intermediate student comes to you and tells you that whether he will be able to clear the examinations or not, so you have to tell him that your results are based on your determinants, and whether you have achieved those 4 determinants in your studies is going to determine your results. What is that? Q, quality, F, flexibility, I, innovation, R, resource utilization. And then we will tell them also the standards should be fair for all the employees in the organization, and reward system should be in place for all the employees. Hey, subject, are we clear, everybody? So this is how you will start with the first part of your answer. So what have we done? We are done with the describe the management strategy that the partner is referring to. We are done with that. Then they have said that now connect it with the question. We will do that. But first, see, the management strategy that the founder partner referring to is the building block model. I will come here. Is the building block model developed by Fitzgerald and Moon. The model was proposed as a solution to performance measurement in service industry, but can be extended to manufacturing field to evaluate business performance. समझ गए? The model requires establishment of results and determinants based framework, wherein determinants are performance areas, QFIR. They are your performance areas, as in this is what you have to perform: quality, flexibility, resource utilization, innovation, in order to fetch the results, success or failure. uh, Determinants are the performance areas and the results reflect the success or failure of the determinants. This model also requires setting the fair standards against which performance will be measured and linking the same to controllable factors in order to motivate the staff. Absolutely clear. So this is what we first wrote. Then we drew the building block model so that the examiner is clear as regards our knowledge, and then we've just written a small connection of this whole diagram. Now in the second aspect we will speak in detail of to how ABC, a CA firm, can apply the concept of building block model to its individual business practices and apply building block model in the best manner possible. Giving you all 1 minute to quickly write this down. Okay, then let's move on to part 2. Part 2 says apply. Now we've understood the building block model. So very nicely explained building block model. Now apply it to our company ABC. In that also the question is very specific. See, if the question is specific, don't unnecessarily act over smart. Question is very specific in terms of its approach, and they have said that in the next financial year ABC should use results and determinants based framework. What did I say? Results and determinants based framework. So we have to focus only on the results and the determinants part. So which one is that? So can I say the dimensions wherein we can see determinant and result? That is what specifically we will choose. So in terms of determinants, there are 4 things QFIR that we are focused on. One is quality, flexibility, innovation, resource utilization. So in that, the first is quality. How can ABC give quality? Obviously, by ensuring that all the queries asked by clients are addressed by the responsible people out there, correct? So that is the first mark of quality, that give the customer whatever he deserves, whatever he wants. Now what ICAI has done is they have said they have picked up points. For example, there are four major segments that you can see here. One is statutory compliance, one is consultancy services, statutory compliance, yeah, consultancy services, taxation practice, and then there is audit and assurance. So these are the four major aspects which are being covered by our client ABC. So they have said that for quality purpose, we will focus on the consulting services division, because they should give the best quality in terms of ability to materialize your prospective client. So that should become your critical success factor, that if any client approaches you, you should be able to ensure that client becomes your permanent client. So for example, if somebody approaches you that, okay, I want consulting in regards to XYZ aspect, we have to ensure by our advisory that client is converted and with us forever. So ability to convert or materialize a prospective client is one of the major feature of a quality that can become your critical success factor, what we call as CSF. So here, see, I have written here CSF, correct? Then your KPIs. Now wherever there are CSFs, there will be KPIs, key performance indicators. So what will be your key performance indicators? What is the customer rating, proportion of number of errors that you have done or defects that have been happened in regards to the number of compliances. So all of this taken together forms your quality. So again, I am telling you, determinants of which first aspect is quality. In that, how do you assure quality? By solving all the queries that your customer, that your client has asked. Second, create your CSF. What is a CSF to you? That if there is a prospective client, he gets converted with us forever. Second thing, now whenever there is a CSF, there will be a connecting KPI. You will see what is the number of errors that you have committed, what are the number of defects, how well you've been in terms of quality. There should be a customer rating as to how well we have done with regards to every customer, and that's what will determine your quality. First, done. Second is your resource utilization. For resource utilization, ICAI specified that statutory compliance division is responsible for resource utilization. Now statutory compliance, what is a statutory compliance? Say for example, every month if a GST return is to be filed, can I say it is a statutory compliance? Correct. If a stat audit has to be filed every 3 months, can I say it is a part of a statutory compliance? Correct. So this is where in terms of resource utilization, what is the recurring work that you are doing? Because for every recurring work, you are going to charge a fees, which is going to increase your revenue. So one, what is the recurring work that you are doing? Second is return filing timelines. Have you adhered to the return filing timelines? Because if you have not done that, then our client will have to pay a penalty. So return filing timelines have been adhered to or not. Third is hourly rate that is being charged to the customer and the hourly expense that we are going to incur. So obviously the rate that is being charged should always be high. Now usually Big Four or consulting firms use this concept of hourly rate, wherein they charge the customer based on the number of hours that are devoted to them. So this is what we will say we will use even in case of ABC, the hourly rate structure, so that we will always have a higher profitability in terms of the hours that we are going to spend. So this second determinant of resource utilization is also taken care of. So in resource utilization, statutory compliance division, wherein we will say that recurring work is there, like your GST filings, your stat audit filings, all of that. So that is your recurring work. Then your return filing timelines, then your hourly rate charge and the hourly expense that you have incurred. All of that becomes a part of your resource utilization. So second, resource utilization for ABC. I hope we are clear. Third is flexibility. Flexibility in terms of delivery of service and timing. That has to be on time. So if you have committed that after 1 month you will be completing a tax audit, for example, then in that case that delivery of service and timing should be adhered to. Number of returns submitted, of that how many returns have been submitted on time, what are the number of assignments handled, be it in terms of accounting, audit, be it in terms of tax, what is the total number of assignments that you have handled. All of that becomes a part of your flexibility. So delivery of service and timing, number of returns submitted, on time returns, assignments handled relating to accounts, audit, tax, all of that will be a part of your flexibility. And then last is innovation. Now for a CA firm, what will be innovation? Innovation for a CA firm will be use of information technology in order to gain new clients, in order to help our existing clients gain a good foothold over their work. That becomes a part of your innovation. So use of IT tools that can improve utility. So probably you can give them a software, develop a software for your client which makes easier for them to file their maybe a GST returns or a TDS returns, or we can give them a tool wherein they can check the TDS to be deducted on a recurring basis. All of that should be ready. Also offering new range and category of services. So what are the new services that we are offering? Correct. How many, what expansion we have done in that regards? See, we can see 4 services that are being offered here: stat, tax, audit assurance, and consultancy services. What new innovation is coming up with new things? So one of what you are doing in that, what addition, value addition that you are putting in, that is innovation. Second, what is the new branch that you are going to add in terms of the scope of services that you are going to provide, becomes a part of your innovation for a CA firm. Now if this QFIR is being tackled properly, then obviously it will result into a positive financial benefit. For example, compute gross or net profit margin. Then what is the margin per partner? First is usually what happens is, for every department there is a head which manages each thing. Correct. Now what happens here is compute gross or net profit margin. You need to compute that. Then we will find out what is the margin per partner. Are you understanding? So one is margin that we are going to get for the overall firm, and second is the margin per partner. What is the business that every partner has got? What is the expense that has been incurred in order to manage that business? Correct. What is the individual partner's return? All of that is to be taken care of here. Increase in revenue over previous year. Can I say all of these things will determine our financial capability? Correct. So increase in revenue, how much revenue has increased? What is the margin per partner? See, these are the things that you will have to think on your own. Correct. Now that we have solved this question, if it comes, we'll be able to manage it. But obviously, when will you be able to answer? Only when you listen to this conversation. Now you will be able to recollect, okay, in terms of financial, it is gross margin, overall gross or net profit margin. Then we have margin per partner, increase in revenue over previous years. All of that becomes a part of your financial results. And as regards your competitive results, what is the growth in revenue? Retention rate of clients. What is the retention rate of clients? So if there is one client, say 15 clients that you have, year on year, whether the number of clients has increased or decreased, at least those 15 should be retained. So what is the retention rate of clients? Relative market share and position. See, competitiveness means comparing yourself with your competitors. So what is your relevant share in the overall market? That is a very important aspect to be answered. So based on all of this, we will say that results, financial and competitive, both are taken care of. Correct. Now here ABC has not given us numbers for us to compute all of this. If they give us numbers also, then in that case we will be able to compute this and give it back to them so that then they can analyze. As of now, all we can say based on this is just that, okay, competitively see what is your market share, what is the market size, how much is your share percentage in the overall market, what is your market position, correct, what is your revenue growth year on year, and what is your industry's revenue growth year on year, how many clients you have retained. These are the things that we can just suggest them. Now if they give us the numbers, then we'll be in a much better position to write them down in terms of numbers, numerics. Are we understanding? So this is how my whole second point as far as application of building block model to results and determinants is what reflects quality for our consulting services, or ability to convert our prospective client, materialize our prospective client, customer ratings, KPI we will set as proportion of number of clients, of errors or defects in regards to the number of compliances that we have done. Then there is resource utilization. For that we have the how many returns we have filed, recurring returns, timelines whether have been followed or not, hourly rate that we are going to charge, and the expense that we are going to incur, all of that. Then there is flexibility in terms of delivery of service and timing, number of returns that we have submitted, whether they've been submitted on time, assignments handled like accounts, audit, taxation, all of that will be covered here. And innovation in relation to information technology, what are the new services that we have taken, what are the new clients that we have absorbed, all of that will become a part of innovation, will give results. Two results: one is financial, gross margin, net profit margin, margin per partner, overall revenue or as regards the previous year, and competitiveness, relative market share, our market position, retention rate of clients, growth in revenue, all of that will be summarized here. Okay, gotcha. So with this, we complete this question of ABC chartered accountancy firm connecting with the building block model. I hope we are absolutely clear. And with this, we move on to our next question. Giving you all 2 minutes. Quickly, you can just write this down. Okay then, so with this we complete this question. If you want, you can go through the main solution as well. Obviously, it is going to be the same only. So some financial performance measures that might be used in ABC are as follows. They have started with financial measure. According to me, I will start first with determinants, tell them about quality, flexibility, innovation, resource utilization, and then I will tell them that boss, okay, because of this we are having a good financial performance and good competitive performance. This is what my approach will be, because it will be aligned, right? And then automatically things will fall in place. ICAI thinks otherwise. ICAI doesn't think from the perspective of how we have to write in the examination. ICAI has given a proper typical answer. Nonetheless, we'll go through this. See, financial performance can be measured through gross or net profit margin, margin per partner, change or increase in revenue over previous year, which we understood. But see, this will happen only if we are able to give them resource utilization, quality, flexibility, innovation. You agree to me or not? So until and unless I give them this QFIR, will I be able to reach to the level of high gross margin, high revenue? No. So according to me, things should work in a aligned manner. This is how even Fitzgerald and Moon have made it. So that's how it should be. Growth in revenue, success rate in converting inquiries into revenue, very true. Retention rate of clients, market share and position. These are the, you can say, measures of competitiveness which have to be adhered to, which have to be taken care of. Now, what are the four major perspectives or determinants which are there? First, resource utilization. So see, I told you, statutory, they have, for resource utilization, they have focused on statutory compliances division, which speaks of recurring filing of returns on time. There should not be any error or defects while filing the return. All of that. Let's see. We'll be having characteristics of recurring work, strict adherence to return filing, timelines. Hence, it is essential to ensure optimum and effective resource utilization. In order to measure the productivity of the staff, are charged as a percentage of total available hour or total paid can be computed. This is also something that I told you that companies like Big Four use this to a very large extent. Right? Okay. Then comes your consulting services, and they have linked it to quality. So consulting services segment will have characteristic of analytical skills, interpersonal skills, and ability to close on prospective clients. So see, consulting services. Have you heard of consulting services? Boston Consulting Group, McKinsey. These are the consulting, you can say, corporate bigwigs, right? Also, Big Four also have their own consulting division. But these are few consultants which are world renowned. So what is their major role? Their major role is analytical skills, interpersonal skills, how you are able to convert the client, prospective clients, all of that. So quality of services is critical factor for success. Customer rating and proportion of number of errors or defects to number of compliances submitted can be taken as KPI. Key performance indicator. Then becomes your flexibility is important from perspective from delivery of service. I think this is what we also discussed. Delivery of service is very important. Delivery of service and timing and of delivery. Some performance measures that might be used for these dimensions are number of returns submitted on time to total returns, actual number of visits or visits planned for specific assignments, number of technical areas like accounting, auditing, taxation handled by each team member. All of this will become a part of flexibility. And last is innovation. So what is there? Although scope of innovation may not be there in terms of accounting firms, but still use of IT, information technology tools, can improve the utility for the client. Moreover, innovation can be seen as offering new range and category of services. Number of new services offered within the previous year or 3 years can be a performance measure of innovation. So what new services are you offering? What are the current services which you are offering? And in that, what is the value addition that you have done? All of that has to be taken care of by flexibility. Samjigadu, are we clear, everybody? So with this, we complete this question thoroughly. If it comes in the examination, I am sure after listening to this lecture, you will be able to manage it to a very, very large extent. Alright, gotcha. Chalo. With this, we can say we are done here and we move on to the next question. Okay. Okay, next in line is question number 12. Case scenario 12, digital computers. So, what is the scene here? Let's first understand the scene, and then we will try to analyze and give them a good suggestion. Okay, so here is a company, Digital Computers, which is doing phenomenally good. Okay, so it started say 8 to 9 years back and started on a high, doing really good, because 9 years back the information technology was at its peak, and really this company is doing good. But of late, in the last 3 years, they are not able to provide products as per customer specification, and the customer is feeling detached. Customer is feeling really sad. Oh gosh, they are not able to deliver things on time. They are not able to deliver goods or services as per customer specification. Will the customer come back to you? The answer is no. And this is what is happening with our company, Digital Computers. So it is a very sorry state, so to say. Now they have approached us, and we have analyzed a few things, and we've seen that this company is running behind the financial measures and ignoring the non-financial measures. Like, what is the cycle time of making a product or providing a delivery? What is the waste that they are incurring? Also, the employees are demotivated because the company is not able to deliver as per quality specifications required by the customer. So everything is in a mess, and now they have approached us as management accountants to help them out. Guys, please, will you help them out? Definitely, sir. That's what our job is. So let's have a quick review of this company called as Digital Computers. Let's start. Let's pay attention. So, Digital Computers is manufacturer or wholesaler of electronic goods. Okay, so you can take an example of a Videocon. Videocon was once India's best producer of electronic goods, but in today's scenario, Videocon has no impact whatsoever in the overall market. That's how, the overall performance of Videocon has deteriorated, unfortunately. This is what happened with Digital Computers as well. So they are manufacturer or wholesaler of electronic goods. In the initial years, excellent performance by the company. As I said, see, we can take an example of Videocon. Initial years, excellent performance by the company. But last 3 years, there is a decreasing sales trend. And obviously, the CEO of the company wants to know that what exactly is the issue. So the issue is listed down. Sales manager points out, sir, orders are lost as production department is unable to produce as per product specification required by the customer. So your production manager is not efficient enough to produce as per what customer wants. Obviously, the customer will not come again, sir. One large customer returned goods. Why? Because of product specification by the customer. One large order got delayed, shifting current year's revenue to the next year. Oh gosh. So one large order was there, it got delayed. Why did it got delayed? Again, maybe you are not equipped enough to manage the large orders. So you are not focusing on the cycle time, on the delivery time, that this is the cycle time, which means that the production of electronic goods should be completed in 5 days. That is the cycle time. The delivery should be done in 2 days. That is the delivery time. So in all, the customer should get the product in 7 days at his place. But you are not focusing on the cycle time. You are not focusing on the delivery time, and hence this large customer order has got delayed. Employee and managers are not motivated. Cycle time and waste production, all of these are creating issues. Annual performance figures, as we can see from here, net profit before tax, current year 89, but budgeted was 92. Previous year was 89. So see, 87. So okay, fair enough. From 87 to 89 is good. But we had projected a net profit before tax of 92. Now, obviously, the CEO will have to step in because otherwise the company will be shattered. CEO speaks that company's performance measures should be linked to strategic goals. Exactly. With focus on financial and non-financial measures. Please use performance pyramid as a management tool and get the company out of the shatters, and let's do the best that the company can for the customers. Hey, Samjigudu, are we clear everybody with the whole question? Yes. Now what we will do is we will read the main question. See, this is a synopsis. I have given you a summary of the whole question in one page. That's it. So what does the question say? Videocon, a company with a big brand goodwill and doing really good in its initial years. But last 3 years, company's sales and profits are falling. Why? The sales department says that we are not able to produce as per customer specification. One. Second, customers' orders are getting delayed. Employees are demotivated. The cycle time of completing a product is not as per what specification it should be, and they are not adhered to. Overall budgeted net profit is also, there is a shortfall there. Finally, the CEO realizes that just focusing on financial measures will not work, and therefore the CEO says, let's link the operations to strategic goals by combining financial and non-financial measures by using the concept of performance pyramid. So we are saying that yes sir, we are ready for it. We have studied performance pyramid in our CA final sir. Let's apply it. We are excited. Now what we will do is quickly we will just read down the sum. We've already understood it. Now reading will be very quick. Now with the reading and understanding of the question very smoothly, we will be able to give a solution to all the problems that our company Digital Computers is facing. Are you ready? Then let's get started. Digital Computers is a manufacturer and wholesaler dealer of electronic goods. In initial years, company was performing excellent and was improving year after year. However, from the past 3 years, performance of the company is towards decreasing trend. Gosh. In a report, sales manager stated that sales has been disappointing. Company sale has gone down drastically. Gosh. However, the sales manager pointed out that some orders have been lost because production department is unable or unwilling to adopt product specification to the requirements of the customer. Also, one of company's large customers has returned goods which it claimed did not meet its requirements, and the customer has subsequently not placed any further orders with Digital Computers. Now, this is warning bells for us, warning bells. In addition, a delay in the completion of another large order meant that some revenues originally budgeted for this year would not now be earned until next year. So there is a delay. Now because of the delay, obviously, if we are delaying in giving it to the customer will delay in giving us the money. So our sales got delayed. The employee and managers are not motivated to perform at their best, nor are the cycle time and waste at production department monitored. I think we've already discussed all this, right? Okay. Summary of annual performance figures. Sales 603 previous year. B had budgeted it to 640. From 603 to 640 we had budgeted, but we have reached only to 605. Gosh. Cost of sales is okay. Gross profit remains where it was. Profit almost remains where it was, whereas we expected it to increase by at least 5%. The CEO believes that the company's performance measures need to link operations to strategic goals more closely, and they needed to focus on non-financial as well as financial measures. The CEO has suggested that digital computers should use a structure for setting targets based on the concept of performance pyramid and should not focus only on financial performance. Exactly my point. List how the system of performance measurement with digital computers could be improved. Assess how implementation of performance pyramid might help digital computers to achieve its stated objectives for sales and profit growth. समझ गए हो? चलो, now your time. Immediately take 5 minutes. Quickly write down this summary, and then together you and me will solve the question. Let's start. Come on, giving you all 2 minutes. You can just pause and write it down. I'll just move on, right? I'll just move on. You can just pause and write it down. Okay, so let's start with the SOLUTION solution. Okay, so here now it is very clear that digital computers, in our example Videocon, was very focused on the financial aspect, such that it did not focus on customer specification. It did not focus on cycle time. Cycle time means time taken for the production time of a particular goods. It did not focus on delivery time, time taken for delivering the goods to the customer. And because of all these things, the customer was not happy. As a result, a lot of its orders were lost. Correct? Now, on that note, we will understand the whole performance pyramid and see how things are linked. So performance at digital computers, performance reporting system has focused only on financial performance. But performance pyramid says focus on both financial and non-financial. So let us, as management accountants, let us make a pyramid and give it to our CEO and let him see that, see, this is how it looks like. Now obviously the CEO has not studied this management accounting performance pyramid, so then we will explain him what is linked with what and then how it is going to be linked with our whole company digital computers. So the first thing that we do is we will draw a performance pyramid which starts at the bottom. So your base has to be very strong. See, again, when you all become chartered accountants, remember, your basics have to be very strong. That's the reason you will always find your seniors or professors telling you have clarity of concepts. What is that? Your base. If you have seen any building or if you have seen a pyramid, then in that case, the base of all these buildings is of utmost importance. Have you seen a building? If you see the start of how a building is made, you would have seen a skyscraper like this. But do you know that before this 20-floor building is constructed, do you know that there is a huge amount of focus on building the underground base? Because if this is not proper, then in that case your building will fall down. So this is what your performance pyramid starts with. It states that your base has to be very strong. It focuses on two things: external effectiveness and internal efficiency. It focuses on two things: external effectiveness and internal efficiency. Now, what is external effectiveness? Can I say external means focused on the customer? Internal means focused on our employees and productivity. Got it? See, this whole pyramid is very logical. You don't have to rectify anything. This is very logical, made by, I think, Lynch and Chris Adams, Adam and Lynch. So what do they say? They are saying that a company majorly has to focus on two aspects. One is its external effectiveness, which is its customers. For the customers, they are hungry for quality. Give them quality. What is quality? Giving the customer more than what he expects or what he deserves. So external effectiveness focuses on quality, and at the same time delivery. This is where Amazon is world's biggest company, because their delivery mechanism is absolutely straightforward, without any hiccups whatsoever. So external effectiveness focuses on two things. What? Mainly external is what? Your customer will want two things: quality and quick delivery. If that happens, then customer is satisfied. If customer is satisfied, he will come again to you, resulting in increased market share. And if your market share increases, finally this is the corporate vision that you are looking at, right? In the same way, so again, external effectiveness, who are you focused on? You are focused on your customer. What does your customer want? Quality and delivery. If that happens, customer will be satisfied. If that happens, he will purchase from you, and he will also tell others to purchase from you. Your market share automatically will increase, resulting in achieving a corporate vision. This is how your thought process and approach should be. Come to the other side of the pyramid, which is internal efficiency. So when I speak of internal efficiency, it is my productivity of my employees, of my processes. So what is the cycle time that I am taking here? What is the cycle time that I am taking here? So the cycle time has to be reduced. My waste has to be reduced. Correct? So improve quality, improve delivery time, but reduce cycle time and reduce the waste. If that happens, then in that case it will result in increased productivity. If that happens, then can I say my unwanted costs will go down, because my cycle time has reduced. So with the same time, I am able to produce more. Correct? With the same wages that I am paying to my laborer, I am able to produce more. Correct? At the same time, if waste reduces, then my raw material cost, my laborer cost, my employee indirect cost, all will go down. Correct? So end of the day, productivity will increase, which will benefit my financial performance. And obviously, if market share coupled with my financial performance is combined, then that gives rise to the best corporate vision that a company can have. Samjigadu, are we clear, everybody? So this is what we have to focus on. Focus on financial and non-financial aspects. And if this financial and non-financial aspect both are taken care of, then we will reach to our corporate vision, which the CEO is speaking of. Correct? So internally, I have to ensure efficiency of my employees, to ensure that the product which is taking 10 days should reduce, apply Kaizen costing to it, apply all of the techniques that you have understood in your cost management, apply all of them to it. So internal efficiency will improve. So cycle time and waste both has to reduce, will result in high productivity, will ensure that you are financially very sound. End of the day, reaching to a corporate vision. And all of that has to be coupled with, remember, flexibility. Flexibility means if there is any change in customer specification, be flexible in your approach. If you have to change your process of producing a product, be flexible in your approach. So both customer and your internal process has to be flexible oriented, so that we go in the right direction. Sanjay, so this is the basis on which our performance pyramid is made of. and that is what was practiced throughout many companies, wherein financial and non-financial both are equally taken care of. Now, based on the discussion that I have just done with you, you can draw this, pause the video and draw this, my suggestion. Now, based on the discussion that you and me have just had, can I conclude that few points that we need to understand that start with a great corporate strategy. So be aligned to your corporate strategy by linking it with day-to-day operations. So your corporate vision has to be linked with your day-to-day operations, be it cycle time, be it waste management, be it quality in products, be it your delivery time, all of that. Correct? Then customer satisfaction, most important. Why did orders get rejected? Because customer was not happy. So order rejections need to decrease. So this is very important for us to manage. What? Order rejections. Correct? So customer satisfaction of most important. So see here, corporate vision getting indirectly linked to customer satisfaction. Then internal and external focus. Internal focus, monitor waste and cycle time. External focus, customer requirement. And I say all of this we just discussed. And finally increase non-financial performance dimension will automatically lead to financial performance. So by giving quality in product, by reducing waste, indirectly you are going to help your company in terms of financial benefits also. So this is what you have to ensure, and this pyramid is what is going to be the success factor for Videocon for digital computers. See, even if you find a company that if it is in the doldrums, try to apply these things and see how magic will happen. So all of the key points that we have written here is what we discussed when I was explaining you this performance pyramid, and that is what is to be written in the exams also. Nothing else. Are we understanding, guys? So start with be aligned to your corporate strategy. Link it with day-to-day operations like delivery, cycle time, waste. Correct? Customer satisfaction, most important. Give the customer the product it desires. There should not be any rejections of the orders. Simple. Focus on internal and external customer satisfaction, internal delivery, your cycle time, waste, reduce them. Employees should be motivated for the same. And finally, if you are going to focus on all these financial performance measure, non-financial performance measures, automatically financial things will be taken care of. Also, a very important thing is communication between the departments has to be smooth. Has to be smooth. So here, if I am going to reduce the cycle time, it should be communicated to the sales team. Accordingly, his delivery time will change. Accordingly, he will commit to the customer. Accordingly, customer will be satisfied. So it is very important to improve communication and information sharing between departments, and we should develop a integrated communication. We should develop a integrated communication. Integrated communication means that all the elements in a hierarchy should be internally connected to each other and should be able to communicate with each other. Even the lower level management should be able to communicate with the top level management and vice versa. So this is called as integrated communication. So if all these 5 points are taken care of, then we can say that yes, the first part, which is system of performance measurement with digital computers, can and will be improved. Don't you agree? Yes. Chalo, giving you all 2 minutes. If you want, you can just pause the video. You can just write this down. Yes. Chalo, giving you all 1 to 2 minutes. Start. Chalo, okay. On that note, let's move on to part B. Sorry, part B. Linking of performance pyramid with digital computers. So, first, set up corporate level objectives. First thing is set up corporate level objectives. Now, what will be a corporate level objective? You tell me. Think and tell me. What will be a corporate level objective? Can I say one, to increase the market share? That will be a corporate level objective. One, can I say increase the market share? And second, to improve the financial performance. See, end of the day, stakeholders or the shareholders who have invested in our company are concerned with what? They are concerned with my overall financial performance. So these are the two major things on which my thought process should be. What? Fun? One, increase in market share. The other is improved financial performance. So, what will be my corporate vision? Market share, financial performance. Come here, come here, come here. Now, here it is. See here. Increasing market share and profit by a fixed percentage. So, every year I have to ensure that my market share has to increase and my profit has to be increased. Here, market share and profit. Market share and financial, which is nothing but your profit. That is going to be your corporate vision. So first is set up corporate level objective. Done. Second, next level, strategic business unit objective. Now this is where the day-to-day operations start. So in this, we have internal efficiency, we have external effectiveness. In external effectiveness, our focus is on customer satisfaction. So in our business of digital computers, what is customer satisfaction? Order should not be delayed. Give produce as per customer requirements. Understand customer specifications. All of that is what is your external effectiveness. What is your internal efficiency? That is your cycle time. Reduce your cycle time. Reduce your wastage and ensure that we are on the right track. So set performance targets. Internal efficiency like increase in productivity, decreasing cycle time, decreasing waste, customer engagement to delivery, customer inquiry to delivery. The process should be low. Amazon, again I'm telling you, is the world's best company because its process time from customer inquiry to customer delivery is the lowest in the e-commerce industry. Yes, you heard that right. Is the lowest in the e-commerce industry. So we have to ensure that we will reach as per what the best in the industry is. So customer inquiry to delivery, reduce. Idle machine capacity, reduce. Wastages, reduce. All of this is a part of your internal efficiency, which will improve your financial targets. Come to flip side, external effectiveness, marketing targets. So quality, delivery, as per customer satisfaction, all of that will by default ensure that your market share increases. So here we need to ensure that we are setting strict targets. Flexibility, produce as per customer requirements, already discussed. Second, customer satisfaction, reduce customer returns. Third, productivity, cycle time and delivery should be more quicker, increase amount of orders and achieve sales target and profit. So if your cycle time is reduced, if your delivery time is increased, you will be able to process more orders. If you are able to process more orders, sales will increase and automatically profit will increase, and that's what Videocon or digital computers requires. Haha, Samjigadu. Cool. With this, we complete this question. Let's go through the solution as well. It's a formality. The performance reporting of digital computers appears to have focus only on financial performance and does not provide information about effectiveness and efficiency issues, which are non-financial but equally important, which may be affecting companies' performance. Digital computers can improve its performance by establishing a range of operational measures which should include both financial and non-financial targets. Some of the key pointers which can improve the performance measures are: be aligned to corporate strategy, which needs to be linked to day-to-day operations, focus on customer satisfaction, consider internal as well as external measures, all right, make explicit trade-off between non-financial and financial performance, consider all important factors to assess the performance whether difficult to measure. It appears that digital computers is having poor communication and information sharing between departments, so improved communication between departments and a integrated communication across the organization. Then second part, establish corporate level objectives, which I said: market share, increase in profit, simple. So what is that? There may be increasing profit and increasing market share. Then strategic business unit objectives. So at strategic business level, performance targets should be created both for internal efficiency, which is your financial target, and external effectiveness, which is your marketing targets. Then third is your external effectiveness. The marketing success is associated with achievement of customer satisfaction. Give them quality, focus on delivery of goods. Internal efficiency, focus on productivity, cycle time waste. See what they have done. They have underlined the important parts. Do that in your exams also. Yes, you heard that right. Do that in your exams. The average total cycle time from customer inquiry to delivery, reduce. Waste in form of idle machine capacity, reduce. Finally, setting targets. So targets for flexibility may be qualitative nature relating to digital computers to adopt product specification as per customer requirements. Produce as per customer requirements. You have to be flexible. Then targets for measuring customer satisfaction may include targets for reducing the volume of customer returns. So customer returns reduced. For instance, specific quality targets may help digital computers to reduce the volume of customer returns. Target for cycle time and delivery may help the company to complete customer orders more quickly and thereby increasing the amount of orders it can complete in a year and hence achieving its sales target and thereby its profit. So this is what this whole table summarizes. Kacha, everybody. Chalo, giving you all 2 minutes. Write this down. Come on, everybody. Or what you can do is you can just pause the video. Probably. Yes, you can do that also. You can pause the video and just write this down. Cool. All right. Just a moment. Okay, so with this we complete this session. Yes, everybody. Gotcha. I hope we are absolutely clear. And with this, the case scenarios are done. Chalo. So, performance pyramid, building block model, 2 main models done with 2 questions. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. For everything and anything else, you can always keep on sharing it in the comments. Stay connected, stay smiling. Hasta la vista. I'm back. Thank you so much.